Hello and welcome guys, this is just Freddy's channel. Mistakes you make when you come to Thailand. This is what I'm going to do to show you 10 things what not to do and not make the same mistakes as I do. So number one will be to don't book your hotel before you come here. You can do it all on the hop. You can easily book it through Agora, booking.com, or one of those. But Agora's a really good one. It's real truthful reviews and good prices too. And because it's not like, you're going to be going to Spain, you've got to book a fortnight, you want the meal and everything included, that lovely beach, and you stay in one area. Thailand's about an adventure. So you're going to come for stay in one spot for 2 or 3 days, you can move around. But it's up to you. You've got a choice. But that's what I would suggest for number one. Right, we got to number two now. So what to bring to Thailand? Well, I think in the days when I was coming to Thailand, I actually very little. The thing is really all you need is t-shirts, shorts. I suppose for a woman it's a bit different. But there's so many shops here. So it's a gigantic amount of shops and everything we got here, and you could just bring an empty suitcase to bring with you. As long as you bring your flip-flops and some suntan lotion. The shops here are they're stacked with everything, and everything's so reasonably priced anyway. So that's what my recommendation is. Just bring a suitcase with half empty, and then you can come back with lots of stuff and some good bargains at the same time. So that's my number two recommendation for you guys. Number three, right, that's the actually international driving license. This is really very important. So the event of an accident, I had one a little while ago, and the only two things they were interested in was my international driving license and a passport. So they're the two most important things. And if you're going to hire something, you do need that international driving license. It's a requirement by the Thai National Police here now, and it's best to be covered. With that insurance and everything, you've got that international driving license, you'll be covered fully in the event of an accident. And obviously that covers also if you had to have insurance of some sort, which would knowingly know that you've got all the right documents, and then you'll be covered if there is an accident. So that's number three, guys. All right, number four, I would say would be travel insurance. It's really, it's very essential to have travel insurance in Thailand. Travel insurance is really the number one thing you can do. It's not expensive. If you can afford to spend that money to pay for that flight to Thailand, you surely don't want to be flown back in an aircraft, or your parents selling their house to pay for your medical bill, because that's how much, it's very expensive. Private health here is very dear. It's if you go to if you're just going to a checkup or medicine or something like that, it's okay. Or if you've got insurance, that's what people have to have in Thailand, unless you're a Thai national. So my recommendation, definitely get that insurance and get the best you can afford, and that way there's no head, you have the accident and you haven't got a problem then of worrying about your mum and dad having to sell their house, or you having to sell something, or having someone to bring money across for you so that you can be released from the hospital. So that's on a serious note, guys. So number five, well, this is one what I wish I knew when I first landed at the airport. I was like the rabbit in the headlights, so I never had a clue what to do. And I was frightened stiff, because the thing is, I'd never seen any of this Thai language, or I didn't come with a friend. I had nobody can compare to how they've been here before or explained anything to me, and there wasn't that many YouTube things about the type of things we're talking about. So when you do come into Suvarnabhumi Airport, you know, you like the rabbit in those headlights, you know, you think to yourself, what the bloody hell am I going to do? Once I land, you know, we get onto that in a bit of what about travelling and transport, but most important thing is you need some money, you know, don't change it in your own country, especially the post office, robbing, you know, I won't say what I think. You know, get yourself to the underground, the ground floor is floor B, is next to the railway link, and it's called a Super Rich. Now they will give you the very best exchange rates what you can get in the airport, and you know, I would recommend that. And you know, I wish I knew that when I came all those years ago. It makes so much difference. But I've got some real important information for you which is going to save you a bundle, so hang on in there, guys. That was number 5. Okay, number 6 is actually to do with SIM cards. So they've got plenty of places in the airport where you can go to on the lower level and you can get yourself a SIM card. There's a whole variety of choice, but like all airports, you know, they're going to try and kill you with prices because you're a tourist for long. So I had a recommendation from another channel actually I listened to one day, and you can have a really, you know, it's a data package. So the thing is, like WhatsApp, Facebook, most of these things you can actually use data. You don't need anything else. That's just how much it's going to be. Well, guys, I'm going to show you. It's called D-Tech. I actually got this off another channel, which was Ricky and Maybell, which has got a place down in Phuket, and I followed his recommendation, and I haven't gone wrong. And I use it even to upload my YouTube when I'm out of this area. You know, I've got no Wi-Fi indoors. You know, what I do is I use the data package, and there it is, guys. There we are. That's what I use, and you can see how much it was. I'll put it a bit closer. What's it? 890 baht, that is. So yeah, I think it's about 45 quid, something like that, but that will last you a hell of a long time. You know, if you're just coming for a fortnight, you know, it's still, you know, it's unlimited, so it doesn't matter how much you kill it, you know, when you're on the beach or having a party at night, putting that music on, talking to your relatives. You know, you don't have to worry about that nasty bloody bill. You know, I've had bills when I come back to the UK, you know, 600 or 700 quid. So I think this is really very good value for money. There is other packages out there, but this is the one what I'd recommend. Someone's going to stay for a bit longer than just 3 weeks or a month, you know, maybe a couple of months. You know, for that sort of money, you can't go wrong. And, you know, this is, I bought this package in November, and you know, and I've travelled all over Thailand since then, and it's a really good deal. And it's used the internet in Thailand is really quite amazing, and the hotspots, I use all them too. But if you do use the hotspots, you have to give your passport details. That was my number 6, I think that was. Anyway, guys, this got another one for you. Number 7. Well, number 7, I think most people would do that, but what I always do, I get a photocopy of my passport, and sometimes I do my medication as well. You know, so if there is a reason, you know, I've lost my passport or some reason run out of medicine, you know, the thing is, you can get medicines comparable in this country. The most important thing is that driving license. You know, if you have problems anywhere, you've got that copy of that passport if you've lost your passport. But most important of all is, you know, maybe do like 2 or 3 copies, or even just copy it on your mobile. It's the modern way to do things. You know, and that way you're assured you've always got that copy. So if you have to ring the British consul, or if they want details, so they can give you a temporary passport back to get back to the UK for some reason, you've got that copy, and you can you know, send it across to them, especially straight from the mobile phone. That was my number 7, guys. And number 8, coming from Just Friendly Thailand, is ring that bell and subscribe. Would be appreciated. I don't, you know, the only people I get paid for all this is YouTube, and you press in that subscribe and the icon bell would help me greatly, or just press you like. Yes, so guys, ATMs, well that's a bit of a hot pick for me because I really hate them bloody machines. And as you can see from my thumbnail, it says it takes your money. Well, there's no bloody question about that. You know, each time you put your card in that machine, it's like 220 to 250 baht, which is like a fair bit of dosh. You know, you come in here on your holiday, you know, you on a budget or you know, the thing is nobody likes to pay in that sort of money. For me, I've got a local ATM, you know, I've got a bank account in Thailand, so you know it's quite natural for me. I don't get charged for it, so there we go. But you know, 220 to 250 baht, so £5.60 or £6 a time, depending on the exchange rate. That's an awful lot of money. You know, people say you can go into the bank, but I can tell you now, you know, from my experience, my bank. It's the Bangkok bank. You go in there, and I think we drew out some money to pay for a car the other day. They charged us, you know, because they still got to pay their people for doing the job. So smaller amounts maybe, but yes, that gridded ATM. And don't forget, it's not just the ATM which is actually charging you for taking the money out. The bank which you're actually taking your money out of their machine, you know, so it could be the Quezon Bank, the Bangkok bank. They charge you, and obviously with the exchange rate they're giving you, and then your own bank in your own country. So, you know, it's not a good scenario. The best thing to do is, you know, maybe one of those travel cards. But even then, you know, like my mum used to say to me, son, there's no such thing as a free meal. And that's bloody right it is. You know, favourite thing you can do really is I suppose bring plenty of cash. You know, if you're staying for a while, you know, you can exchange money probably in the bank. You know, like a lot of people will say, go in the bank, get you know, you can draw out a certain amount. But the other thing is, what I was going to say about the banks is, you want to find out how much money you can actually take out on an ATM machine. So not everybody can draw out, you know, bundles of money, because the banks, you know, they don't like you taking out too much money. And I can draw out like almost about 700 quid, 800 quid on my card with the Bangkok bank. But find out how much money you can take out on your card. So that's really, you know, up the limit if you have to, and know you're going abroad. Number 9, this is for the people who are staying here a bit longer and they want a Bangkok bank account. They don't want to have to keep the hassle, keep getting money out and being charged an arm and a leg just simply to draw their money out. You know, if you get a rental agreement and you can get the landlord to actually write out something, or they come along to the bank with you, and that way you can get a Bangkok bank account. But you need a good landlord, and they will write something out or otherwise come along to the bank for you. I'm quite sure many of them would do, and that way you can get a Bangkok bank, a Thai bank account, without having all the hassle of having to, you know, keep drawing money out of the machine. I mean, charged that an extortionate amount of 220 to 250 baht a time. So that's my number 9, guys. And number 10, hey, so this is transport. So what would I do for transport if I was coming as a tourist again? I think probably I'd have motorbike. You can hire a car quite reasonably, but you know, it's all the things what I've told you already about an international driving license and the passport. Remember that, guys. When you're hiring a vehicle here, I personally always hire a car. You know, motorbikes look a little bit risque for me. You know, I'm not you know, a bit of a John Wayne. I'm not really. I prefer the safety of a car, you know, and yeah, of course it's great to have a motorbike, and there's plenty of them about, and very reasonable prices too. I think 200 or 300 baht a day. But the most important thing is it's a great means of transport. It's being stuck in that one spot you're going to be when you come, you know, maybe for 2 or 3 days, or you can travel around the area if you come to like places like Phuket. There's so much to see there, you know, and it's very hilly, up and down. You know, the taxis there are extraordinarily expensive. So yeah, I think probably a motorcycle. You know, a young guy and couple, get yourself a motorcycle. Don't forget your crash helmet. And one most important thing is, guys, you really need your feedback. It's really very important to me, and I can improve our channel, make it better, or even buy me a coffee, or if you like, you know. But yeah, I think it's good to get feedback, and I'd really be interested in what you think of what I've said to you regarding my recommendations. Subscribe, icon bell, be really good. Till the next time, guys, thank you. Just pretty.